Hello, I'm Patricia Samanara from TBI 3B. Okay, I will explain about morphology. Morphology is a branch of linguistics that studies the structure of words, especially word parts or morphemes, the study of the smallest language segments that contain meaning. Morpheme is the smallest unit of language that has meaning and cannot be subdivided. Word as meaning building blocks of language. Building blocks mean that a word can describe a sentence that has variance in its meaning. Word as types and token. Token is the total number of words contained in a sentence. Type is a term in morphology for counting a word in a sentence. Words with predictable meanings. Word has meaning that are predictable. That is meaning that can be worked out on the basis of the sounds and make them up. Types of word with predictable meanings. The first is compound words, combining two or more words. For example, raincoat. And then next, words derived from roots are derived from Latin or Greek roots. For example, bicycle, B means to cycle, refers to wheels. And then onomatopoeic words. These words imitate sounds. And then descriptive words. Adjectives have meaning that are obvious based on the word sounds or in common use. Non-word with unpredictable meanings, the item is clearly not itself a sentence or a phrase, yet to have meaning that is predictable. The first is item, is the combination of words, and then that have meaning owing to it. And then common usage. Next, for example, catch the bucket, and then die, noun, competitor whose strength is unknown, and then the last proverb is a traditional saying syntactically a sentence whose conventional interpretation differs what is suggested by the literal meaning of the words contained. And then word versus lexical items. We can use lexical item for item with first characteristic and reserved word from item with second characteristic. Word and day parts. Taking word apart. Word can be broken down into smaller parts that carry meaning. Each part has a specific function in forming new words or modifying the meaning of existing words. Kinds of morpheme. Bound versus free. The first is bound morpheme that cannot stand alone and must be attached to other words to have meaning. And free morpheme that can stand alone and has meaning. For example, house or it. Kins or morpheme, root, affix, combining form. And then root, the best morpheme that serves as the core of word. For example, believe in the word unbelievable. And then affix, a bound morpheme attached to root to form a new word or modify its meaning. Has four types: prefix, suffix, infix, circumfix. And then combining form. Morphemes often found in complex words usually derived from Greek or Latin, such as bio, life in biology. Words and their parts 2. Morphemes and their allmorphs. The first is morpheme, small, meaningful unit in language, and then allmorph, one of several phonetic realizations of the morpheme. Identifying morpheme independently of meaning. Morpheme can be identified without needing to look at their meaning. Ways of classifying words parts by function. The first is root, and then affix, prefix, suffix, infix, and circumfix. By from derivational affix, change the meaning and category of a word. And the last is inflectional affix, change the form of a word but doesn't change the category of word. Words and they from inflection 1. Words and grammar, lexems, word from and grammatical words. The first is lexem. This is the best form of a word that contains the core meaning. For example, go or run. And then word from. This is a variation of lexem that differs in grammatical aspects such as tense or number. For example, go, goes, and when are word forms of the lexem go. And a grammatical word. This is a word from use in a specific grammatical context. For example, goes is a grammatical word in the sentence she goes to school. Regular and irregular inflection. Regular inflection. This is inflection that follows a specific pattern or general rule in the language. Irregular inflection. This inflection does not follow a regular pattern, so its forms need to be memorized individually. Forms of nouns. Noun forms typically include change to indicate number or position. In English, there are several main noun forms. Form singular used to indicate one item or entity. And then plural used indicate more than one, and possessive shows ownership or relationship. This noun form help us understand the context of number, or ownership, and the position of nouns in a sentence. Words and their form inflection to. Number 1. Form of pronouns. Pronouns change according to their role or function in the sentence. For example, subject, I, you, she, it. Object, me, you, him, her. Possessive, mine, your, his, or hers. Number 2. Form of determiners. Determiners are words that show quality or position of a noun, and they can change depending on number or proximity. For example, singular, this, that, plural, this, those. Number 3, form of verbs. Verbs change to show time or aspect, ongoing, complete, and etc. For example, present, walk, past, walked, and progressive, walking. Number 4, form of adjectives. Adjectives change to compare two or more things. For example, basic, beautiful, comparative, more beautiful, superlative, most beautiful. That's all for me. Thank you. Bye bye.